Bueno, ¿qué tal a todos? Bienvenidos una vez más a El Cuartel del Metal. Soy Federico, espero que estén muy bien. El día de hoy me acompaña Lena Scissorhands de Infected Rain para hablar de su nuevo disco Ecdysis. Hello, Lena, how are you? Thank you very much for your time today.
Hola.
Ah, nice. Well, great to see you.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. Well, awesome. Glad to hear some Spanish from you as well. I
Thank you.
imagine people will like that as well. And well, at least when we are recording this, we are a couple of weeks away from the release of Ecdysis. How do you, you let me know if I'm pronouncing that
It's
correctly?
Ecdysis, yes.
Ecdysis, perfect. Your fifth album. So
Yes.
before getting into the music itself, I would like you to tell me how have you perceived and sensed the fan reactions, to the singles released so far, and what are your expectations concerning the release on the 7th of January?
The reaction so far is absolutely beautiful. People were really hungry for new material. People were really hungry for just new music in general from everybody. And although we released our previous album only 2 years ago, but we didn't really have the chance to tour with it much. So I think that the diehard fans of Infected Rain really missed us, but also newer people that were just introduced to us almost like didn't have the enough taste of Infected Rain because we only got to do one tour with Endorphin. So yeah, the reaction so far is incredibly beautiful, very powerful and inspiring words. We released 3 singles with music videos so far, and the album comes out in January with another music video. So we are
Nice.
super excited for that because we had a lot of time to work and we created a lot of content, and finally we are able to share this with people. Yeah, we don't have any expectations. That's the thing. We do this for ourselves and we do this from the heart, and uh, yeah, it's beautiful and it's flattering to know that people can relate to what we do and love it. Absolutely. But we don't expect it. We don't take it for granted when we have it either. And I'm sure no band does.
Yeah. And well, it's great that we're gonna have new music from you guys again. I've already heard the record. I really enjoyed the new album myself.
Thank you.
Well, certainly this is, as I said, another astonishing record from Infected Rain with lots of nuances to a really good modern metal sounding album. You
Thank you.
state that while the world was, it says that the whole world was in a deep depression, Ecdysis was slowly but surely maturing. I really like that sentence. Would you care to elaborate a bit on that and how it was like working in this world context for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't very easy, very challenging times for sure for everybody. But I think that people in show business had to experience worse difficulties when it came to our job because we were able to come back to our jobs way later than everybody else. If people were able to work from home and then go to the office finally, little by little, we weren't able to go back on tour. We weren't able to go in the recording studio. So we had to manage the new normal, the new ways. And in the beginning, I won't lie, it was pretty depressing because we didn't know when will this end, and we still don't know. Things are still going on, you know what I mean? However, thanks to the love and support of the fans, thanks to the love and support of the families, thanks to the love and support of the label, which is very important to work with people that believe in you. And I want to say that we feel that Napalm Records believes in us. We feel that they um, see something special in our art and the way we write music. So they never gave up on us, which is super awesome. And we just rolled our sleeves and started working, started working remotely. I built a vocal studio in my house. My boys built a studio in our rehearsal room in Moldova. And we just started recording remotely, composing remotely. We were part of so many cool things remotely. And obviously, as soon as it was possible to travel, I traveled back to Moldova and we filmed all this content. We filmed 4 complete music videos 2 visuals, an entire show dedicated to our anniversary, and an entire documentary dedicated to our anniversary. We finished recording the album, we did collaborations. So basically, what helped the most is staying busy.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear and to see as well that you could kind of reinvent yourself in these strange times, and that the album's finally seeing the light with a lot of content surrounding it. Lena, speaking about the record, I personally came to find that it's maybe kind of divided in half, in my own personal opinion. Like, the first portion is the more punishing and most brutalizing side of Infected Brain, I think. And the second one allows you to display all the other aspects of your music combined with that. For example, tracks like November or 910 really bring that experimentation to form. Would you like to tell me how was it like assembling the track list for this one?
Honestly, I don't think we did that on purpose. I really don't think we did that on purpose. The idea was like, we just put things in a certain list, and then the only thing that we made on purpose was Postmortem Part 1 starts the album, Postmortem Part 2 ends the album. Everything else, we just put it kind of together, and we tried to have bangers throughout the whole album. But yeah, I don't think that was really planned to be that way, but it's cool that you found that, pattern. That's interesting.
You've got the most brutal and punishing tracks on the later half as well, but I find it more to be like, in my opinion, maybe other people say other stuff, but it's cool as well. So, wanna chat a bit about the latest single you put out, The Realm of Chaos, that finds you singing alongside Heidi Shepard of Butcher Babies. Some really nice words she stated concerning the release. She said everything you touch turns to gold. Quite a good compliment, I think.
She's a sweetheart. She really believes in the band, and I can feel that.
So, when did this collaboration come to form? Was it when you were touring together? Was it already a plan beforehand?
It wasn't a plan at all, ever. But like way before we even planned the tour, we were still working on the album. And when the album was in the phase of production and all that part, for some reason, there were 2 songs actually that I remember talking to my boys and saying, like, that would be so cool if like one of these songs had a featuring. And my boys were like, yeah, that would be cool, but like, how are we gonna make it happen during COVID? And I genuinely right away organically thought about her right away, because we are friends for a while, and she lives here in Las Vegas, and I knew she wasn't busy with the band at the time, so I asked her, and she right away said yes. She chose from these 2 songs, and like we together came to the point where this would be the best choice. And that was just fun, non-planned, organic decision. In fact, we actually do have this song recorded fully by me. We will never release it, but we have it. Like, we didn't plan it. I recorded it. We didn't plan a collaboration. And I think that's awesome, because it was almost like putting a little cherry on the top of the cake.
Both the song and the video are really amazing. You both look really, really energetic together. I think it's a great mixture of voices there. In Infected Brain in general, and this album, concerning those tracks that maybe demand the most of you vocally, both with screams, harsh and clean vocals. So is it easy to put all those parts together? Like, for example, in Everlasting Lethargy, where you combine absolutely mostly everything you do with your voice.
That's true. I don't see it that way. I see all these techniques as one, and obviously I work on them to perfect them and to feel comfortable with them separately in general, right? When I do my vocal warm-ups and everything, or my vocal lessons. But when I record and compose, I only plan it when it comes to like, okay, I want to bring a lot of attention to this sentence, so I'm going to probably scream it, or I'm going to actually sing it very, very gentle and bring the feeling of the goosebumps over there. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I'm like actually thinking about when I compose it. But when I already composed it and I record it, it's a very natural process, because the technique that I use vocally is Melissa Cross's technique, and she is the vocal teacher that tries to explain that all these techniques in the extreme or alternative music specifically can be kind of the same. So we sing as we speak, and we speak as we scream. So all this like scream, sing, and speak had to go from the same place and feel the same. So when they feel the same, then you transit and you play with them the way you want, you know.
So when you're writing these vocal parts, maybe it has to do a bit with both, but do you pay more attention to what the lyric is saying or to what the music is playing?
Absolutely the both, but sometimes the lyrics more, because I want to like underline a certain like phrase or a certain like combination of words just to make sure I will deliver, you know. But yeah, obviously it's all together.
Good combination of both, I think, makes the good result. So I wanted to touch a bit on the lyrical aspect of the record. I read that you said that this goes from like depression and abandonment to embracing reality as well. No need to get personal if you don't want to, but could you shine some light maybe on where you draw inspiration for lyrics this time?
My life. Always my life. Always my life, my own experience, what I go through, what I'm living through, people I encounter, everything really. So this album is no exception.
Was there something in particular maybe that drove the record the most this time?
Many things, but I think mainly the time we lived in, like the new things that we had to accustom for, and you know, seeing all this craziness that was going on in the world in general, not just because of the pandemic, but also because of the natural catastrophes, like all the fires that were going on during all this 1 year. Had so much going on. Animals were dying, trees were dying, you know, entire woods, entire territories were dying. And then all the riots with all these people dying and all these people fighting, all that inspired a lot to write some, you know, heavy and raw parts. And then also some of personal life experience, some of the things that I'm trying to still work on and still deal with, like the song Goodbye, for example, is a very powerful one for me, because it's almost like a dialogue between me and me, where I have to let go of a pain that is constantly with me, like my shadow. It just follows me all the time, no matter how much I try not to think about it. I try to learn from it. I try to embrace it. It's still influencing me somehow. It still gives me nightmares, and I have to let go. So yeah, with my own methods, I guess, with my own little ways, music is one of the ways that helped me a lot. It's like a therapy and helps me a lot to like realize how to deal with certain things in life. So that was it as well. Funny you brought up 910 is also a very interesting song, because it talks about the insomnia and I had a lot of sleep issues. I still sometimes have it. I am a very light sleeper, but I sleep way better now. I found, I guess, a better balance of what to do in order to sleep a little bit better. But yeah, it was a constant couple of years of not being able to sleep well. Not couple of years, I won't say more than that. But so, you know, so every single song really, like This Waltz, for example, is a very important song for me. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, because This Waltz is a song about our inner world. And the walls being, you know, inside these walls, it's not like a building or a specific place. It's actually the inside world we have, that world that nobody can see. But that world that we actually sometimes invite people in. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, a coworker, I don't know, somebody you like, a partner, I don't know, somebody that we let in. So now what happens when we do that? Very often we lose ourselves in there, because the person that we let in so deep, so everywhere, like you opened up as a book, you opened up the door and just, here, do whatever you want in this house, you know. It shouldn't be that way. We still have to remember to be ourselves, to think about ourselves as well, because unfortunately, sometimes not on purpose, subconsciously sometimes, but unfortunately people that we let in, they are not very respectful of our inner world. In fact, that's why I have like very strong statements there and very strong words like, just take off your shoes, you're in my house, you know? Just be respectful, because I let you in doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want. It shouldn't mean, but we are all human beings and we are very weak when it comes to certain things. Some people are stronger, you know, some people are weaker, and I am a human being and I'm doing mistakes just like anybody else. So all these songs mean a lot to me, all of them.
Well, thank you very much for sharing all that stuff about all those songs. Really liked all the stuff behind the tracks, at least the ones you've talked about. So now that we have spoken about music and lyrics, this question I'd like to ask for you. If you could define maybe or describe the album in one word or one phrase, what would you choose?
Whoa. I think we chose the name properly for it, actually, to be honest, because Ecdysis means such a specific thing in nature, such a specific I don't even know how to call it, such a specific event, I guess, in the nature, that it describes exactly what we wanted with this album, exactly what we wanted for us as people and for our entire planet and us as a nation and whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So I like how particular that word is, and how to the point that word is. In fact, for the very first time ever, for the very first time in our career, we even made the art explain the name. So normally, if you look through our artwork, cover artwork for the albums, it's never the name, what the name means, right? Never. But here, the message was so strong, and the name describes so much what we wanted with this album, that we put that cocoon on the album itself, you know?
Well, awesome. Thank you again for that explanation, and kind of to round up the interview, Lena, with you. Thanks again for your time today.
Thank you.
Discuss a bit about return to live shows, upcoming tours you've got. I know you just finished a couple of months ago, a run through the US with Butcher Babies, of course. First of all, if you could tell me a bit about that experience, how was it like? Have you played? Had you played before that tour during the pandemic, or was it the first kind of run during this COVID
before
times?
the pandemic, we only had one show, like actual show in front of audience. It was a festival in Ukraine in summer of this year. But other than that, we only we filmed our Devil's Dozen show, and that's it. And then that was the first tour, yes, after 19 months of 19 months after the last tour. So it went well for many reasons. It was our first US tour. We were on tour with friends. It went really awesome, you know, despite how dangerous and difficult the time was. We managed not to have any accidents, not to have any cases, and we stayed nice and healthy and nice and productive, and we worked hard. It was really, really good. Now, hopefully, nothing changes in the world, and next year brings more tours. We already announced a European run with Dagoba, which will start in February, and it's going to be a very long tour, actually, all over Europe. Yeah, and then hopefully right after that we can tour America again, and then after that all the festivals, and if the world is going to allow us, we will constantly be touring.
Great. So, well, these new tours, at least the European one that's confirmed, will already be with the new album under your arm. Have you thought about how that show is going to be like? I imagine yes, but maybe which songs you're going to perform, or no, not already?
A little bit, some details, yes, but I think we will perfect it more later on, like in January, we will perfect it. But yeah, we're already working on some production for the shows, and we're already thinking about the set list.
Well, I hope that at any point this new album, or maybe the upcoming one, can bring you guys to South America or to play some countries around here. It would be really cool.
Yes, I hope so. Trust me, we are trying our best. Unfortunately, it's just not very easy for citizens of Moldova because we need visa for every single country in Latin America, which is a lot. So it's not just about the money. It's just so difficult to achieve. For each one, you have to go to the embassy and apply. Everybody has their own rules, and it's just not easy. It's very tedious, expensive as well procedure. But we really want to. We know how many people are waiting for us. We have a big following in Latin America, and of course, we want to tour everywhere.
Well, maybe at any point in the next couple of years, maybe you will be around here. Well, Lena, again, thank you very much for your time. It's been really nice chatting with you today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Let's hope for the best with this new album of yours coming just out in a couple of weeks. We encourage everyone to stream the record, pick it up if you can, listen to the singles, watch the music videos. And well, any last words you'd like to give to those maybe Latin American fans you've got around here to round up the interview?
Muchas gracias. And really, thank you so much for loving us, believing in us, and waiting for us. You guys are so patient. We can't wait to tour Latin America.
Well, thanks again. Hope you have
Thank you.
Nice
Buenas noches.
Bye-bye. Buenas noches.
Bye.